So I'm here with Tariq Hughes at his shop in Cardiff. Tariq is a member of the Young Feds. He's also a competitive barber and a competition winning barber. And I'm just here to do an interview with him to find out a little bit about his journey as a barber. So Tariq, tell me, where did you actually start in barbering? Where did it start from the very beginning for you, and how did you end up here at Fade's Barbershop?
Basically, when I left school, I was looking for a job, and I spent a lot of time in barbershops. Obviously, when I had a bit of hair, so I was always in barbershops, and I always thought it seemed like a cool place to work. You know, it was quite a relaxed atmosphere. You could socialise while working as well at the same time. So when I went to the job centre, I seen an opportunity for an apprenticeship. So I took the number down, rang up the fella, went for the interview, all went well. So I started my apprenticeship then in quite a popular salon, Greek salon around Cardiff. They got a few shops. So I worked there for about 3 years. Progressed quite well there, passed all my qualifications quite quickly, built up a clientele. And then the opportunity for this shop came about. A friend of the family had the shop before me. So I just come and started working here. So I've been here for 6 years now, but I've still kept busy, trying to progress, learning, going on courses, watching a lot of videos online, stuff like that. So yeah, so I've been doing it, I'd say all in all now about 10 years from when I first started.
Okay, so you worked for someone for 4 years and then basically took this on 6 years ago?
Yeah, about 6 years ago. Yeah, so it was about 3.5 years I think I'd done my apprenticeship for. Well, apprenticeship through till I was qualified. Okay. And then I came here, so it's been about 6.5 years here. Yeah, so about 10 years in total now.
And tell me, how did you get your Young Federation gig? Because that's, not everyone and anyone can get that gig. That's a hard gig to get.
Well, over the last year before me being entered into it, I watched obviously the journey of it over social media anyway, like through me and Danny Robinson. Danny, we used to talk now and again on Instagram, social network. I was just watching his journey really, him doing it, Josh, Simon, Richie, just the whole thing, and thought like they seem like superstars, obviously doing what they're doing, going to shows, interviews, stuff like that. So I always thought, I want to be part of that movement, or try and get out there. It's exciting, it inspires you to do better, do more, whilst being a barber, rather than just being, stuck in your day-to-day routine. It breaks up the routine slightly. So Danny mentioned about a competition, a Great British Barber Bash to me. So I entered that, and then I won the Barber Bash. And then he recommended me to Aaron and Adam about the Raw photo shoot for the Men's Hairdressing Federation, the lookbook style guide, and to do with prostate cancer. So I drove up to London. I took a model. We had a photo shoot. Got really friendly with Joe Sloan, Adam Sloan, and Aaron. And then we kept talking after that because we hit off. We got on quite well. Then I. Obviously the Raw lookbook come out then in Barber Connect. It was the release. So then I caught up with him then at Barber Connect. We had a conversation. He said he'd like me to be part of the team. I didn't know what he quite meant when he said part of the team. I don't take things until something happens. I just, I go along with it. But then a couple of weeks after that, then he phoned me and said, listen, you're in the Young Feds, you're going to be my new Fed. So I was over the moon with that. And so I've been on the show, I've been at Salon International with them, and just trying to keep busy with it. I'm loving it really, to be honest with you, being there, being part of the team. It's a great team, great people. Can learn a lot as well from the other boys as well.
So tell me a little bit about this kind of assignments that you get being part of the Young Feds.
It's just basically, just keep inspiring, just keep trying to put good work out for, for people to be inspired. Always trying to break boundaries. We got shows, such as Salon International. I think we got a fellowship at Salon London in February. We're just trying to. I think Adam got a few things in the pipeline. I'm not really allowed to quite talk about yet, so that should be exciting.
I'm used to that with Adam.
Yeah. So it's just we're just having fun. we're all collaborating, we're all, giving each other tips on, how we can all improve, because obviously we all got different, we specialize in different aspects of barbering. You've got Danny, he's just unbelievable barber, all round, he's amazing. Josh, with his hairdressing skills as well as his fade work, and Simon, pattern work, fading, Richie's finishing, they're unbelievable. Really. I feel blessed to be amongst these boys, really. So, but it's just, we meet up now and again just to try and, we have collaborative meetings so we can, all try and pick up tips from each other to make ourselves grow. And it's all about, it's helping you, being part of the Young Feds is part of helping you grow. Spotting that you got a, I don't want to say it for myself, but you got a talent as such, and I'm helping you improve and grow on what you already have to build on it and see where it can take you. So.
Okay, going a little bit deeper into two keywords that you used there, which was A, talent, and B, speciality. What's your talent and speciality?
Well, it's for other people to judge, I'd say, but I would say fading, I would say, would be my strong point in barbering. And also Afro work. I do a lot of Afro work, Asian hair. So, high tops, flat tops, the rounded off afros, things like that. So I do quite a lot of Afro work and Asian work, really. I like to, I always try to be the best at all different aspects of barbering, whatever colour, whatever hair you got, type of hair. But I think sometimes it depends on, sometimes it's where you are. If you're in an area that has a lot of Asian and, Afro hair to be cut, then that's the hair to cut. So you're obviously going to get stronger in that, in that category, that area, So, but I'm hoping to learn and get better at all aspects of barbering.
Okay, and tell me a bit about the competitions, because obviously the Young Feds allowed you to join on the back end of you winning that competition.
Yeah.
Do you enter a lot of competitions?
Yeah, well, to be fair as well, the Young Feds is a competition, because I did enter that back before I even entered the Barber Bash. You enter it, you obviously got to win to become part of it. So I entered it anyway. Online, I entered the competition for it. And then when I spoke to Adam, he said, would you like to work with us? And I said, well, I've already applied to be part of the Young Feds. And he was like, wow, you've already applied, have you? So I don't know whether, because I've met him, it might have helped, and he's seen my work and met me. So yeah, so that was a competition as such. I won that, and I think of any of late. I've entered in one at Salon International, but didn't get no luck. But yeah, I do try, and I keep my eyes open, because sometimes they're not really promoted so much, the competitions, So you gotta you got to try and find them to try and enter. But I think it's a good thing to enter competitions, because like I said, it gives you something to work for whilst you're in work. It's not just coming to work just to earn money. You always up in your game in work. You're trying out things that you can use outside of work, but still in barbering. So competitions, photo shoots, demonstrations. So it just helps me keep progressing, keeps me inspired, rather than just coming to work, going home. You're just doing the same things, doing the same haircuts, but you're going and seeing different things, you're meeting new people, you're seeing the skills of other people as well themselves when they're in competitions, and that's striking you, and you're thinking, Jesus, look what he have done. I need to up my game a bit. So I would say to anyone, it's good to enter competitions and just keep yourself hungry and, stay inspired, I'd say. Stay focused, stay in touch with what's going on all across Britain, rather than just in your shop. It's easy to get complacent.
And tell me, how did you approach this competition for maybe someone who thinks that they're worthy of entering a competition, but they don't quite know how to approach it? What was your personal approach to the competition that you won?
Well, I had started getting a lot of a photo I put up of the winning haircut, which became the winning haircut in the end for the Barber Bash. Started getting a lot of love on social media, everyone commenting. It got reposted on several sharing sites such as like British Master Barbers, Barbershop Connect, things like that. So, I started thinking, well, I never really, don't want to just say, I never really think my work is that good. Some people, they say it, but I never really think, So, people saying to me, you should enter this Barber Bash, because the Barber Bash was quite out there on social media at the time. Gary Spencer's a genius at you know, getting out there, getting the face out there, you know, getting the name of the Barber Bash out there. So I thought, okay, I'll enter it. And then, you know, I got a phone call off Gary then saying, yeah, you know, you've got in, come up to Southport, I'm going to do the haircut in the morning of the competition. And then I just tried being as relaxed as possible whilst doing the cut, you know, because I've done it, you know, how many times in the shop. But when you're in your own shop, in your own, you know, your comfortable space is easy. But when you're there under pressure, you've got a time limit and there's other people around you and it's a competition. It was nerve-wracking, but I just tried to stay as, you know, as calm as possible and just tried to keep it, you know, like it would be in my own environment in the shop. And luckily it pulled off for myself too. And it's a haircut as well. If you're going to enter the competition, you know, there's no nothing wrong with such a basic haircut, but it's good to do something that stands out, you know, something that, you know, that you wouldn't necessarily see on an everyday person, you know, walking around the street. So it helps catch the eye of the judge, I think, by doing that.
Okay, so in your case, it was the flat top, high low fade.
Yeah, high fade. Yeah. Well, I would say it was like it's like a high top, so it was like the old school, like Will Smith kind of boxed up quite high off the, almost like the Queen Nefertiti kind of crown coming back off the head with the fade, and it had like a hard part in. So so obviously you had the height, you had like the definition from the line, the fade. So it had a few different, you know, aspects to it. What, you know, could make it stand out, you know, rather than just being like all around, you know, fade or short fade. You know, I tried to make sure I, you know, had a few different levels to the cut to try and make it stand out and make the judges think, you know, this took a lot of work to do for them to appreciate. So that's all what come into my thinking whilst I was entering the competition.
Okay, and tell me the competition winners' tools. What kind of tools did you use to execute this cut?
Well, I used my legends, Wild Legends, 5-star legends, and also my seniors. And at the time, I think I used the detailers, which they're good, but obviously we have the better version now. We have the heroes with the wires a lot better. The blades stay a lot better in so. And scissors, a bit of scissor whip, but mainly with afro hair, I just use a lot of clippers to cut the top, and then I just fine tune it then with the scissors.
Okay. And why have you chosen to use American tools?
Because there's just the power, basically. It's a no-brainer. You know, I've watched these American videos of them doing the haircuts and just seeing them doing fades and how easy that the clippers just knock up the lines and just take out the fades. And I'm watching it thinking, how come it's not working? I'm thinking, is it me? Why is it not happening like that? And I'm buying these clippers. I've tried all sorts of British, you know, clippers as such. And I'm just doing this, trying to use the same techniques as what they're using from America. And it's coming out, you know, it was okay, but not quite as, not saying I'm as good as the American. They should be as good because they're obviously very talented barbers, but you could just tell. And then I've researched, and then you've seen by researching, you've heard the Americans, they know that they've been here and they've used our clippers, and British people have been there and used their clippers, and there's a difference. The quality is a lot different. The American clippers have a better quality, they're longer lasting, and they just, like I said, they're just, the power in them is just, the sharpness and the power is just 10 times better than the British clippers, I find myself anyway. And
did you try using the British clippers before the frequency 60 Hz came along? Did you attempt to use American clippers before?
Yes, but you had to sponge them, like stick sponge inside them and things like that, and it just, I don't think it works. I think by the time you're sticking, you're just slowing them down. I don't think you've got an American clipper in your hand, but you're not getting the effects of having an American clipper. We're obviously with the converter, you know, it's converting, so you're using it at the rate what the Americans would use. When you're sticking sponge inside things to stop it from vibrating, obviously you're slowing down the motor, and I didn't think it worked. I have tried it, but it wasn't for me. I didn't fancy working like that, and I don't think it's very safe, you know, sticking sponge inside things that heat up. Quite liable to explode or blow up or something like that. It wouldn't look too good whilst cutting a customer's hair.
And tell me about your scissors of choice.
I have these off the Scissor Guru. These are 7-inch scissors. I use these a lot for afro hair, for my flat tops. I use these pretty much for most hair types, for scissor over comb, for blending. So I use these mainly, mostly, I'd say I use them quite a lot. Then I also have the Jaguars then, the 5.5 inch for just, you know, like neat sections and, you know, a bit of texture cutting and stuff like that. But that's the thing I'm looking to improve on as well, is my scissor techniques and ways of cutting hair with scissors more, especially on, you know, like say picking up the hairdressing aspect of, you know, what's now infused with barbering as well. That's come into it quite a lot now, I think, rather than just clipper work and, you know, old fashioned just scissor over comb work. You know, I think people are just putting the two together now with hairdressing, with barbering as well also.
Because apparently next season it's getting long. It's going to get longer. That's word on the street.
Yeah, it's longer styles. Yeah, so you know you got to stay. That's what I always strive to do. I've always, when I worked when I done my apprenticeship, you know, I always done all different types of hair. Done courses. Even now I still do it. It's just even now, whilst I've been getting out there on social media a bit more, and people can see the work you can do and what you can do, more people will come to you. Whereas before, because of the area I'm in and because of you're doing them certain hairstyles and you're known for that, you become, say, you know, branded with our fades and afro hair. But that's not all I can do, and I try and promote. That's not all I can do. So if you come to me, I can look after you as well as in whatever hair type you have, rather than just afro or Asian hair. So.
Okay. But you kind of started off in afro and you progressed.
Well, I've always had, like, a lot of my friends had afro hair. So when I started in the salon, it wasn't necessarily I started off with afro hair, because I just done all types of hair. But, you know, I've learned the basics and all. But then by coming here and, you know, having a lot of that kind of clientele, you know, afro, Asian hair, Arab hair. So I've just progressed more. I won't say progress, but just do a lot more of it. So, you know, it's like, that's my kind of, my niche as such. Like, you know, that's what I stand out for doing, and that's what I've become known for doing whilst I've been here.
Okay. So will you be sharing these talents with other people by way of being an educator?
Well, I haven't really, well, hopefully with the young feds, I think we might have a few things coming up as far as that goes, as being an educator. I've been asked about doing it, but I'm just a barber. I would love to do it, but right now I just feel like I'm a barber. When people ask me, I just feel like, you know, I'm just a barber, really. I feel...
You've got skills that people that specialise in Caucasians would love to learn.
Yeah.
I travel all around the country, and as a black person, sometimes I'll go into a white barber, if you like, and just ask for my signature cut, which is like a 0.2 all over, and I can feel their heart,
the tension,
because they haven't got experience with that, and obviously every barber would love to progress.
Yeah, of course,
So I think that's maybe a skill that you should consider sharing with the world.
Yeah, well, I definitely would. I definitely would love to do it. You do like, even when you're just showing people, you know, friends, or when I've been away and people ask you, it is lovely. It is nice the fact that somebody, you know, likes what you do and can take something away from what you do, and you can help someone. So I think definitely in the coming future, I would like to go into it as such, education.
Let's set the date from now. As of March next year, Tariq Hughes is going to be an educator, starting off with Afro-Caribbean here.
Oh, hopefully,
So we're signing that on camera.
well, hopefully, as Larry says, maybe March, I'll be doing some education.
Okay. And education aside, what's next for Tariq Hughes in closing?
Basically just, I'm trying to maybe thinking about opening up another shop in a different part of Cardiff. That's a big thing on my agenda at the moment. I'm really looking to do that, and also just focusing on upping my service as a barber, not just as round haircuts, necessarily just a haircut. About this whole shop, making an experience coming into the shop. It already is a barber shop. Come here on a Friday. It's like a comedy show. Everyone's talking, everyone's joking. Everyone's gossiping. It's the barbershop, you can't beat the experience, but trying to offer more as far as in what more you can get out of your barber, facials, maybe, because the male grooming aspect is growing now quite a lot, say eyebrow threading, So I'm just trying to take it up, trying to give
Widen your services.
widen my services, get my customers coming in. And it's not just about money, it's about the service to the customer, educating them on how, it's like when people have shaves and they're shaving at home and they say, oh, I get bad skin. I got skin that gets bad. It's not always the point. Sometimes it's how you do it, and you just got to educate the clients, or their hair. Oh, my hair doesn't go like this. Just to it's all about educating other barbers, but you also need to educate your clients as well to what products to use, how to treat their hair, how to treat their face, their skin, because I think it's a big part of it as well now, especially with all the beards coming into play now with barbering. It's more than just cutting someone's hair. It's the face, everything comes with it now. So trying to offer a whole package now, more than just a haircut.
The consultation would definitely shift your price point. If you're at like a medium price point and you start offering like worthwhile consultation and tips, it will shift your price point.
That's it. Because your clientele respect you. You think they respect you for it by suggesting things to them. Because otherwise they'll just, you've got to treat clients like, they say is like the dummies say, basically, not without being rude, because they don't. Sometimes they come in and they'll say, I want like a 3 on top and a 1 on the sides, and they want a scissor cut on top and a 2. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go through. You really be careful. If you just listen to a client every time they ask you for something, they're going to complain because they don't really know what they want. They're not barbers. It's not it's not their fault. So by educating them and offering them different choices and but your hair with your face shape is you should try this style, or with your skin type I wouldn't have it quite short, or and when it does look good and it do come out and they do like it, they're going to respect you for it, and that's what's going to separate you from your average barber to being a good barber or a great barber. Understanding each client for who they are rather than just getting them in, getting them out, doing the same old what they ask. Separating things and creating a personal service for each client.